Hi guys, my name is Juliet Dulo. Welcome to my channel.
And today I'm coming back with a video that I promised you guys that I'll bring you how to win a scholarship to USA. So last video I talked about what you needed to apply to schools or colleges here in the US, more so undergraduate. But today I'm actually making a follow-up video on how to win a scholarship, which it's almost the same thing but a little bit different, and I'll explain to you why. So from the last steps, I'll just summarize today what I had said from last time. So from the last steps, I had said you need your high school transcripts. If you're applying to undergraduate colleges, you will need your high school transcript. You will need SATs or Scholastic assessment test. You will need TOEFL. Some schools require it, some do not, but it's better to take it because you want to apply to more schools in order to increase your chances of getting accepted and chances of getting scholarships. So you really don't know what schools will require and what will not. So you just better take it. Number 4, so that was a TOEFL was number 3. Number 4 will be the essay for writing for school, and then number 5 was just putting together your application. So today I'm here actually to talk about how those 4 things encompass to you getting a scholarship. And so number 1 will be your high school transcripts. So there are 2 types of scholarship that I'm familiar with, mainly mostly in private colleges. You are better off getting a full scholarship in a private college only because most of the state funded and federal funded colleges usually the funds or the financial aid is limited to US citizen or permanent residents. So as an international student, you'll stand a chance mostly in private colleges getting a full funding or full scholarships. Because private colleges, the federal and the state does not influence their decisions. As you had, it's private, so they make their own decisions. They decide who they give scholarships or not. The funds are not coming from the government. The funds are coming from alumni, well-wishers, the tuition, and all that stuff. Does that make sense? From there, so you are better off applying to a private college. So there are 2 types of scholarships. Academic, which is the merit scholarships, and then there is another one which is the athletic scholarship. You can also get athletic scholarship to go to college. So the academic scholarship will be geared towards the academics. That means you have to have performed well in high school. And here in the US, they use a system called GPA system, where the grades accumulate from where you get into high school until you leave high school. Your grades are being averaged. So at the end, they take the average of your grades. So at the end, they look at it and say, okay, you got an average grade of A. So that will be a 4.0 GPA. And you can look that up on how to convert your grades to GPA system in the US. Usually most GPA system is from is the 4.0 GPA is A, and if you have an A minus, that will be about 3.8 something or 3.7. If you have a B plus, that's a 3.5 GPA. If you have a B star, that's a 3.0 GPA. Now you see most schools, even graduate schools, if I might touch on that, usually requires you to get about a GPA of 3.0 to get in there. But you really do not have, if you have an A, you have higher chances of getting that academic scholarship, if I'm making any sense. That's a 4.0 GPA. It shows that you are a really good student academic-wise. But what if you did not get that 4.0 GPA? What do you do? So there are so many other things. You have to make sure you perform well in SATs, the Scholastic Assessment Test. That test, as I explained in my other video, it's like a test to get into college here in the US. So even if you're an international student, you will have to take that test. And so if you do not have good grades, let's say you have a GPA of 3.5, which is a B plus average in high school, what you can do to impress the school admissions which is, you know, the admission board will sit down and determine if you are eligible to get in and to get financial aid. If you are applying and you have a B plus and you want that academic merit scholarship, what do? You study hard for that SATs, take your SATs and get good grades. And you can redo it, by the way, that test, you can redo that test. So that's the good thing about that test, is it can be redone. So if you do it the first time, so it's a harder test. If I took it, so I know you can take it the second time. So you have to take practice tests. You really have to study for it like you study for any other exam. Maybe 2-3 months before you take it, take a couple of practice tests before you go take it, so you know what the questions are like in that exam, so that you just become familiar and you'll be more comfortable. It's about 4-hour test, maybe even close to 5-hour test, so you will need to have practice. Otherwise you'll go in there and you'll crash by the second hour. You're like, okay, I'm done, because it requires thinking and critical thinking. Number 3 is TOEFL. Let's say you had a B plus in your transcripts, and close to high score, not too high, not high enough, but close to high score in your SATs. Another thing you can do is TOEFL. Even though TOEFL is usually English as a foreign language, it's gonna show how you're thinking and how your English is like. So that is still going to count into your scholarship. You show them that, yes, I understand English. When I come there, I'm not going to struggle when you go to school, and listen and take it from me. You will. And that happened to me too. You know, the accent here is different. So sometimes I couldn't understand my professors, or they couldn't understand me when I asked questions. So you will encounter those things, and those are normal. But by the second semester, third semester, you will have caught up with what's going on around here. And you know, even years later, I've been here for a while, and still most people don't understand me. When I talk, they're like, where are you from? Or, you know, or what did you say? You know, they look at me twice. So that is normal. Number 5 is your application. In your application, you have your essay in there. If it's an open-ended essay, which means they did not give you a topic, a direct topic, or maybe they gave you a general topic that is very general, that you can write about almost close to anything, or, you know, you can tweak it to fit you. That is where now you express yourself, why your grades are low. You really don't say why, but it's almost like you're supporting your grades being low. For example, you can say that, you know, you're coming from a very humble background, and for you even to have gotten to high school, you know, to high school at this point, and even to have been able to get these grades, is a very big thing from your community. You come from rural Africa, you come from rural Asia, where there is no school fees. So many kids are dropping out, but you made it and you got that B plus. Is that making sense, how that's different from just anyone else who got a B plus? Because your conditions were different, the admissions committee will understand, and they will consider your application and probably your financial aid, if that makes sense. And then there's a place in the application packet where you have to put what your parents earn. For example, you know, if your parent is a teacher and earning $200 a month, you have to put it in there. So when they go through it, they know this kid is who is applying for financial aid, need some funding to go to school. And, you know, so it's not one thing. It's not only the grades, is what I'm trying to say. It's everything that it's everything. They want an all-rounded person. Let me just put it like that. So, you know, your high school transcripts must balance with other things. You cannot have a weak essay and an A in your transcript, a 4.0 GPA in your transcript. You cannot have a weak SAT scores, yet you add 4.0 GPA. So it has to balance for them to see that you're potential students. They want an all-rounded person. They just don't want someone who's doing good in grades. And, you know, oh, and another thing, one of the other things that I forgot to mention is extracurricular activities. So let's say you were in an organization, put that down in your application. You were a member of a Scouts or Girl Guides, as they call in Kenya, put that in there. If you were a member of those Christian organizations, put that in there. Those will help you because they show that you were proactive in school, you were active in other extracurricular activities, and you're likely to come and contribute something to the university when it comes to extracurricular activities, if that makes sense. Even if you were just playing intramural sports mean in the US means you're just playing for fun. So they're not the professional one, they're not the competitive ones, but still you can form small teams in school. So put that down. That would actually help you because even if your grades are average, it shows that you're actually an all-rounded person. If you are in a political seat in school, you are perfect in school, put that in your application and that will help you. Another point was my athletic scholarship, and this is where really our parents as Africans, or where I come from, have failed us. So usually our parents want you to focus academics, but think about it. You focus in academics, you get a job and you paid $100,000 a year. It's not bad at all. But look, there's some people who have talents and they actually have real talents. For example, LeBron has actually real talent and earns millions and millions of dollars a year. Now you see the difference of what I'm talking about. If someone has a talent, it has to be nurtured, you know. Our society tends to look down upon athletics and all those other things. Although, you know, where I come from, you know, it's a big thing, like the running is a big thing. So, but if you were just even a volleyball player in high school, if you were a basketball player, if you were running, you know, you can show the coach of the school that, look, this is the minutes that I run in 1500 meters. I'm able to run these minutes. I'm able to run. I'll come and join the athletic team, the school, they call it track team here. I'm interested in joining volleyball, and so I'm requesting for volleyball scholarship. And this is the stuff that I didn't know at all, but the athletic one is the most main one, you know. I'm interested in running cross country. And it's not that bad. It might be bad to start, because I know a lot of people will say, yeah, I can run, but when they start, it's tough. It's tough to start. Everything is tough to start. But as you practice and go on, it becomes easier and easier and easier, okay? You do not need to be a professional athlete. You're just running against college students and at a college. For example, the college, undergraduate college that I attended was at Division 3. Division 3 means they're not too good in athletics, not like Division 1, where the big you see those college football teams, the Ohio State, you know, the Alabama University football team, those are in Division 1. So all their games will be in Division 1, and that's almost like playing pro football or pro athletics. No, these are the small colleges, like the college I attended, they're in Division 3. So all you have to do is really show up and give it your best. You don't have to be a professional in these athletics. And most of those students who are in the football team, I'm talking about American football team, or the soccer team, or the basketball team, volleyball team, most of them had full athletic scholarships. So if, let's say, you have a B stand you have a B stand in your transcripts, average SATs, good essay, because there is really no need for you to write a bad essay. Good essay, you need a good essay. You need at least your high school teachers or someone to go through it and correct it before you submit it. Perfect extracurricular activities, including being in organizations, either political or in a leadership something. Does that make sense? And now you're adding that you're actually going to be in a track team, or you know you're interested in a volleyball and you have a good volleyball track to show. Then you're likely going to get in and get that athletic scholarship, if that makes sense. So it's not only academic scholarship, there's also athletic scholarship. And so encourage your brothers, if you're already out of high school and encourage your brothers, even in elementary school, primary school, encourage them. If you see a talent in athletics or something else, nurture it, because that will really help them later on, And even when you blend it with academics, it becomes a big thing and a better thing, really. So encourage them and nurture them for them to be able to help. It will help them someday. So I'll just summarize easily what I just said in this old video. And this is one of my longest videos, but I think it's very important. Number one, balance everything if you need academic scholarship. Balance from high school, your GPA from high school, your SAT scores, your TOEFL scores, your essay, and extracurricular activities in your application, if that makes sense. Now, if you want an athletic scholarship, it's available, but start training. For example, if you want to join a volleyball team, start training. I know so many people who are good in volleyball, but they just don't have good training, and stuff like that. If you want a running scholarship, which is a track scholarship, you want to run cross country and stuff like that, start running, It might not help now, but it's gonna help you lose weight and become fit, but most importantly, it's gonna help you get in school in the US. So I have given you examples of what you can do. If you still have any specific questions, do not hesitate to email me. I'm here to help you. I'm here to pass the information that I know after being here and being in your shoes a couple years ago. I didn't know what I was doing, and someone did help me, so I'm here to help you guys. Thank you guys. I want you guys to subscribe to my channel and like my videos. Please subscribe. I'll be bringing you more videos. I think now the next one, I've been talking about undergraduate application. My next video will probably be now when you want to go to a master's and PhD, and that's very doable. It's easier. By the way, getting into master's and PhD programs is easier than getting into undergraduate. Yes, it's easier. And if you're in the STEM field, you are almost guaranteed that you will get full funding and stipend. So I'll come talk about that in my next video. Thank you. Bye.